never know if the love will ever grow without trying, without trying. And how will we ever see if we are meant to be? It's terrifying, it's terrifying.
What is up, Gato Squad? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Elias, aka FlyinGato, and I hope you guys are doing well today, because I am doing fantastic. As you can see behind me, the S2000 is out and ready to go, because today I have a treat. So today I'm going to be comparing the S2000 and the Type R on many of the attributes that they have. So in order to help me out, I have my camera person, Mrs. FlyinGato. And she'll be helping me move the cars around and film the cars and things like that, because it is a lot of work to film two cars. So all right, with no further ado, let's get started. Now, I know I haven't reviewed the S2000 fully yet. That review is coming soon, I promise you. But today we're going to be focusing on the main differences between the Type R, the Civic Type R, and the S2000. We're getting a lot of questions on which car is better, for what, etc. So, first and foremost, obviously this is a convertible. And I want to apologize if the camera's a little bit shaky. It's attached to the windshield, and because it's a convertible, you're going to get windshield movement, so cowl shake is what the technical term is. And basically it's because the windshield is not attached to anything but itself. It's gonna vibrate a lot more than a conventional windshield. So apologies for that. Nothing I can really do about that. So we'll have to deal with it as we go along. I'll try to fix it in post-production, but it is what it is. So besides it being a convertible, I mean, the fact that it is a convertible, it's awesome. So if you never owned a convertible car, you're missing out. It's definitely an experience, something that everyone should experience in a lifetime. Being able to drive a convertible on a nice, beautiful, sunny day. It's one of the few joys that automotive enthusiasts must experience in their lifetime. I mean, the open air, you get an infinite amount of view right behind you. You get infinite amount of sky above you. You get the hair, the wind in your hair. It's perfect. And for a convertible, this manages the air pretty well. So I have a little, I forget what it's called, a little like air stop right here. And if you turn up the windows while the top is down, you pretty much get a nice little pocket of calm air right in the middle of the cabin. Really cool. Now, a few other things I want to mention about the S2000 and what makes it so special. Everything about the dash, everything about the car is very driver-centric. So as you can tell, the dash is amazing. Everything is geared exactly towards the driver. The passenger gets nothing. It's basically as if the passenger didn't exist. It's barely a seat for a passenger. Everything is right there front and center for the driver. I love the tachometer. It's an F1 inspired, F1 Formula 1 racing inspired tachometer. It goes from, all the way to 9,000 RPMs. That's really what makes this car really special. That 9,000 RPMs. Let's hear it. Oh man, that's why you get an S2000. Woo! That engine. That engine. Oh, this car is awesome. Anyway, back to the dashboard. Everything is right there in front and center for the driver. All the dials are right there, right here. And I mean, you can't improve on that. You know, the Type R has a great interior, but the fact that everything is driver focused is my favorite part about the interior of the S2000. The seats of the S2000 are very comfortable. They look amazing, especially these red seats with the white exterior. My favorite color combination, obviously, since I have a Type R in red and white. So I have to admit, the Type R seats are actually better than these. You know, these seats are great. These are really great seats, but the Type R seats hug you better. They're not leather, so you're not slipping around as much. I mean, not to say that these seats, in these seats, you slip around a lot at all, but in the Type R seats, you basically sit inside the seat, and if you're strapped in, you are not going anywhere. You feel like an integral part of the car. And that's the main thing I want to point out. In the S2000, you basically feel like the car is an extension of yourself. You're wearing the S2000. Whereas in the Type R, you're driving the Type R. The Type R is an amazing driver's car. But in the S2000, you feel like you're wearing it. It responds to every bit of your inputs. You're not struggling to heel toe. You're not struggling to shift gears. This gear shift is the best gear shift I've ever used. Ever. And that includes comparing it to the Type R. The Type R's gear shift is amazing, like I keep saying, but this gear shift, bar none, the best gear shift I've ever used. Alright, enough of me talking. Let's switch over to me driving the car. Alright, so before we really set off, I have to remind myself that these tires are basically garbage on this car. I've been needing to change them for a long time, but I haven't done it because I've been so busy with everything else in my life, every other car, the Type R, things like that, that I just haven't had a chance to do it. This is really just a fun, you know, track day or fun day car for me, so it takes, you know, back priority in terms of when I need to drive it. Now with that said, let's have a little fun. For those of you wondering what kind of exhaust I have, it is not a stock exhaust, obviously. It's kind of droney a bit, but one of the best exhausts for the S2000. It's an HKS exhaust. I believe it's the HKS high power exhaust. VTEC does sound good with it though. So good. Well, that was a ton of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. I mean, it was awesome time. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I wasn't going 10/10s. I wasn't driving the car to its limits, and that's because, like I said, the tires are garbage. I've been meaning to change them for like a year now, and I just basically haven't gotten around to it. There's other things, other priorities that keep coming up, and since I only drive this car for fun, you know, I could put this in the back priority, no big deal. Everything else about the car is well maintained though. It's got the oil, you know, I've changed the differential oil, the transmission oil, and the engine oil. I change that every year. But for now, yeah, the car is an awesome fun to drive, even with crappy tires. I think even especially with crappy tires, I was doing a few little rear end wiggles with this car. It may have not come through on the camera, on the footage, but it was fun to keep the car kind of in line, and it's so controllable. I mean, people talk about snap oversteer. You got to remember, the people that get snap oversteer is basically when they're turning and they let go of the accelerator pedal while they're turning. The back end gets unsettled, basically gets raised up, and the suspension gets unsettled. The car's gonna spin. So if you're a motorcycle rider, you know that while you're turning, you leave the gas on no matter what. That's to settle the rear suspension. Same with cars, or especially rear-wheel drive cars. When you're taking a turn, you're supposed to have done your braking, all your braking before the turn, so that while you're turning, you can put the gas on a little bit at least to put that suspension, the rear suspension, to make it set up, so make it set basically, so it doesn't wiggle around or doesn't move around. Once you keep that in mind, you're not gonna have any problem with this car. Just like I did. And I have, like I said, really crappy tires. It's taking those turns with gravel and stuff like that. The back end was wiggling around. Not a big deal at all for me. All right, let's go and drive the Type R. So driving the Type R. Now I'm not gonna bore you guys with a lot of talk about the Type R. I've talked about it a lot. I have a full review, go check that out. But since we're here, comparing it to the S2000, you immediately feel, first of all, more comfortable. We gotta be honest here, the S2000 is not quite as comfortable as the Type R. You also kind of realize a couple of things. So first thing you realize is that in a convertible, you're definitely gonna feel and hear and kind of experience more of the outside world, whether that's good or bad. You know, you can get a lot of wind noise, a lot of exhaust noise, a lot of smells, things like that. You're gonna experience all of that in a convertible, whereas in this hatchback, you're pretty much insulated from all of that. Now, we should get this out of the way before we even start talking about driving dynamics. The Type R in a straight line is for sure going to be faster than a stock AP1 S2000, which is what I was just driving. So understanding that, look at these beautiful deer. Hello, deer. Out of the way, let's go. Anyway, so yes, the Type R is in a straight line, definitely going to be faster than the S2000. Now, in terms of driving dynamics, so as I said in the S2000, when you're driving the S2000, you feel like you're wearing it. You feel like it's a part of you. You're not driving the S2000. You are basically the S2000. You get all the driving feel. You know, it responds to your inputs almost immediately. You don't have to think about what you're doing. It just does. With the Type R, it's a little bit different. So, not to say that it's not an amazing drive. It is. It is an awesome driving car. But in terms of driving feel, how it feels driving, you're still definitely kind of realize and feel that you're driving the car. It's responding to your inputs. It's not a part of you. It's not, you know, you don't think and it does. You know, you think, you do, and then it does. It's hard to explain, but I hope I'm getting the point across. It's a very fun car, no doubt about it. And it's a very capable car. I mean, look at this. Look at the way it takes this turn. I mean, this car is made for the back road. Good grief. This car is so fun to drive. So as I was saying, this car, compared to the S2000, is a little bit less fun. Not by much, not by much. Definitely faster, for sure. Definitely way more practical. Better on gas. And that turbocharger makes power all across the rev range in this engine. In the S2000, you gotta rev the crap out of it. So as I was talking about during the drive, the Type R, an incredible car. I think it's one of the best driver's car out there right now today to buy brand new. Now, when you compare it to the S2000, you realize the difference between a car custom built from the ground up to be a sports car, which is the S2000. And the car, they took basically a stock Civic hatchback off the production line and made it a much better driver's car. Now, there's pros and cons to this. So the pros, obviously, is that with this hatchback, you have all the space back here. It's very comfortable. I can take it on long road trips without worrying about it. You know, if I don't pay too much attention, I won't wrap it around a tree or a light pole like like you would in the S2000 if you're not paying attention. If I want to just chill out and not care about what I'm really driving, I put it in comfort mode. It's nice and comfortable. I can relax and get to my destination. With the S2000, it's always on. You turn the car on, and you have to be on. If you're not on your game, you're in trouble. So, you know, those are the pros of this car. It's also faster than the S2000, something that is important to some people. Now, the things that the S2000 has above this car, it's a much more fun car. It's probably the most fun car I've ever driven, and I've driven a lot of different cars: V8 Mustangs, V8 Camaros, BMWs of all kinds, the M4, the M3, you know, the older M5s. I've driven a lot. I've owned a BMW 540i with a 6-speed. I've driven the E30 325IS. I used to own one of those as well. And I've driven the new M240i. That was an awesome car. You can see a video on that as well. And the S2000 is the most fun car I have ever driven, by far. That's not to say it's the fastest. It's definitely not to say it's the most powerful 0 to 60. It's not to say it's the more dynamic car I've ever seen or driven. But as a package itself, as a driver's car, I haven't driven better. The Miata gets close. So, in conclusion, if all you want and need is a very fun sports car that you're gonna take to the track and you have other cars that you can have fun with, I would get an S2000. If you were to ask me today which car, if I had to sell all of my cars except for one, which car would I keep? I would keep the S2000. And that goes to show you how much I love the S2000, how much I miss Honda making an S2000. I think they should bring it back. Now, the other thing, if you were to ask me if you needed a comfortable, practical, extremely fast, extremely fun, you know, hatchback that's going to be reliable, etc., what car would I get? You know, it would have to be the Type R. You know, this Type R, an incredible car, incredible value for, you know, 35 grand, 36 grand. It's a great car, I think, for that price. So it's been a long, fun day of filming, and we drove around both cars, basically all around town. We switched it up from the S2000 to the Type R for the driving portions, things like that. And Mrs. FlyinGato had a chance to drive both the Type R and the S2000 back to back. So I gotta ask her what her opinion is. Okay, so you drove around both cars all day. What did you think about both the S2000 and the Type R?
I like both cars, but honestly, I think I like the S2000 better.
Whoa.
It feels more nimble, it's easier to drive around, the steering is less twitchy,
yeah,
in my opinion. And I just like how light it is, how easy it is to maneuver around.
So you look like you were having a lot of fun in there. So yeah, it looked like the car agreed with you. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed that, and if you have any questions, as always, put them down below in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.